It is finally happening. Yes, the move that everybody wanted the Phillies to make all along was officially made ahead of Sunday's matinee loss to the Brewers. We're going to get into all of that on the newest episode of Phillies Digest. What actually went down today down at Citizens Bank Park with these new moves, and what this future of the Phillies pitching staff is now starting to look like in the newest episode of Phillies Digest here. But before we do that, I do want to remind you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Just 35% of our viewers that are watching our videos have subscribed so far. We want to get that top number down and that bottom number up. That is our goal here on Phillies Digest. Myself and Sean Bernard are uploading at least one video a day. We are almost at the 4,000 subscriber mark. We are so close. So if you have not already, let's try and be that 4,000th subscriber. Hit that subscribe button. But we got some pretty massive updates down today at the stadium. I was down there all weekend with Crossing Broad, and we got a big update early in the morning around 11 o'clock from Rob Thomson. Mick Abel will start for the Phillies on Thursday. Taijuan Walker will go back to the bullpen. This is kind of the move that everyone's been waiting for. Obviously, Mick Abel dazzled in his major league debut 2 Sundays ago. Today, 6 innings, basically outdueled Paul Skeens and helped the Phillies complete the sweep of that series. It was an electric day. His whole family was there. It was a really awesome, start to a comeback story for Mick Abel. And now he is joining the rotation. The biggest note with this and why this is so big is that this isn't just a spot start like his major league debut was. Mick Abel is going to be in the Phillies rotation at least until Aaron Nola comes back. Aaron Nola threw a bullpen today, but he's probably going to have to face live hitters sometimes later in this week. He's then going to have at least one rehab start. So it's probably going to be at least 2 weeks till we see Aaron Nola again. So that probably buys Mick Abel 2 starts, maybe 3. To really show what he's got. So I wrote an article today for Crossing Broad, really just breaking all of this down because I thought there was a lot that was kind of thrown at us today. But as far as Abel, so this is what I said. I said it was hard to ignore Abel's success much longer. He has a 2.21 ERA in 10 AAA starts this season, striking out 67 batters in 57 innings. The Phillies are going to take advantage of Abel's surge until Aaron Nola returns from the IL. Zack Wheeler will start Tuesday in Toronto. Christopher Sanchez will start on Wednesday, and Mick Abel will go on Thursday, obviously with the off day on Monday, June 2nd. It's no secret that the Phillies bullpen needs help. There's 3 guys the Phillies can't truly trust right now. They can truly trust right now: Jordan Romano, Matt Strahm, and Orion Kerkering. Jose Ruiz was DFA'd this morning to make room for right-handed pitcher Seth Johnson, who will be available out of the bullpen today. Obviously, he did not pitch in today's game, but we are going to get into that because that is another big move for the Phillies. And the Phillies liked what they saw in Taijuan Walker's first bullpen stint. Obviously, that first one down in Tampa Bay, he had 6 strikeouts in 3 innings. They're going to try it again and give him some big spots. And this is what Rob Thomson had to say pregame to reporters down at the stadium. He said, "I want to see him in a 1-inning stint and see what he can do. I've got a lot of confidence in all of those guys in the bullpen, but I think Ty's got a chance to make us a lot better coming out of the pen." And I think we know sort of the where we're at with this bullpen right now. Jordan Romano, Matt Strahm, Orion Kerkering, that's your big 3. Those are your guys that can take down the big innings right now. Joe Ross has been a nice addition. They've used him more, as not necessarily the craziest high of leverage, but he has taken down some nice innings. This is an old picture. Jose Ruiz was DFA'd this morning for Seth Johnson. Tanner Banks has started to show a little bit more. He obviously allowed that 3-run homer to Christian Yelich on Saturday. Carlos Hernandez, I think we all know his deal. And Max Lazar, who has shown some stuff in the few innings that he has pitched so far this year. I do want to get into sort of the second part of this sort of day because Jose Ruiz was designated for assignment this morning, and the Phillies called up right-handed pitcher Seth Johnson. Seth Johnson was obviously acquired for it was Seth Johnson and Moises Chassé at the trade deadline last season for Gregory Soto. This is what I wrote this morning. For Crossing Broad, I said the Phillies started to turn to Johnson into a reliever a few months back before Jose Alvarado was suspended 80 games. The Phillies knew his stuff could play in the bullpen. It's all about command for Johnson. And while it's still not perfect, the Phillies have seen enough improvement to give the 26-year-old a shot in the majors. They know he's better than his 4.91 ERA in AAA this season. Johnson is excited, but was a little surprised yesterday. He didn't think it was going to happen yet, as he's still learning different things of the reliever world. Johnson spoke to reporters ahead of Sunday's series finale on what has to change when you convert from a starter to a reliever. He said, "It's definitely been trying to slow myself down. You do get that rush running from the bullpen, but, just working on some stuff and slowing the game down." The Phillies DFA'd Jose Ruiz this morning. If he clears waivers, he'll go to AAA. The Phillies bullpen has been shaky over the last few weeks after a good beginning to the month of May. They hope that Johnson can have an impact on the game quick. Routines are key for all pitchers. It's different for every guy, but it's really different for starters to relievers. I personally asked Seth Johnson today if the mindset has to change when you get thrown into a high-leverage situation compared to getting a start, and what his mindset sort of is, heading into a new role. And I did like this from Seth Johnson. He basically said to me, I can kind of just let it eat a little bit. It's not, having to worry about going 6 innings and having to be out there 5, 6, 7 innings every time you go. You can go out and throw a little harder and get into your stuff more and sort of fall back into your bag a little bit more. And that's what Seth Johnson's really been trying to do. He's been trying to really slow the game down. And it's been beneficial for him. They've seen a big jump in velocity. He was hitting 99 a few times back on, I believe, Wednesday night in AAA. He's really starting to show some things right now. But I think this is the sort of change that the Phillies needed. This shows that, they're really not messing around anymore. It's not April anymore. It's not the first 15 games of the season. This is June 1st. We're past Memorial Day. And the pitching staff, more specifically the bullpen, has been a little bit of a question. Obviously, everyone has their issues with the lineup. Some starters having some rough outings recently, but we all know what the starting rotation gives you. But this bullpen and some starters, that there's been a bit of a mix of, obviously, Walker starting off as a starter, then going to a reliever, then going back to the bullpen, blah, 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 blah. They're finally starting to hopefully find some consistency here. They're going to give Seth Johnson a chance. Once again, Rob Thomson wants to see what Taijuan Walker can do in a sort of, high leverage-ish role. And they want to continue to give Mick Abel a shot because Mick Abel is impressed, and he's earned every bit of this recall back that will probably happen on Thursday. Mick Abel in May, 5 starts, 4-0, a .94 ERA, 40 strikeouts, 13 walks. Hitters are hitting just 183, and Abel has a 1.12 whip. Abel has a 1.29 ERA over his last 8 starts, and this includes his 6 shutout innings with the Phillies. Big shout out to Jeff Kerr there of CBS Sports. But I think this is going to be big for the Phillies. I think it was getting to a point, where you got to try something. You can't keep burning Mick Abel down in AAA, right? This is the first big call-up of the season. Seth Johnson was the second one today. This is the youth that's starting to be implemented in. And now you're going to start seeing it, obviously, with these guys already. Andrew Painter's still on his July timeline. You're going to see him soon. There's going to be some youth involved in this team. Obviously, how the game ended today, I think the Phillies are going to have some questions about maybe adding some more youth. Justin Crawford's hitting over 400 against left-handed pitching right now. He has a .330 batting average down in AAA. I don't know what you're getting out of a guy like Weston Wilson that you wouldn't get out of Justin Crawford, other than Justin Crawford's a left-handed bat. This Phillies team might have to start putting some youth up here because, no, the season's not over. It's June 1st. But how this weekend went, I think it was a bit of a wake-up call. Sometimes I think series like this can be good for the team to make sure that they're not comfortable. This is a long season, and you can't truly ever get comfortable because a team like Milwaukee that won 4 in a row can come into Citizens Bank and sweep you anytime, just like they did this weekend. So some big moves made this morning by the Phillies. Are you ready to see Mick Abel again? He will go on Thursday in the series finale against the Toronto Blue Jays and old friend Jeff Hoffman. Once again, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel already, please do so. Just 35% of our viewers that are watching our videos have subscribed. This has been the newest episode of Phillies Digest. My name is Luke Arcaney, and I will see you guys next time.